Either Asian. Well,
Let's see.
wow, there we go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 11 Governance and Nominating Committee meeting of the CEDC. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Thank you to everyone who served. Just diving into the agenda, first up is the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes? Are there any changes, comments, edits? If not, I will take a motion for approval.
So, second.
All those in favor? Anyone opposed? So moved. Moving on to the slate of directors. It's my understanding that the slate will stay as it is, and if anyone has made comments to that or edits, we would take this to the board for full approval. Is everyone good with the slate as it stands?
And this, the slate means everyone who's currently serving as a director. Is that right?
Yes, everyone who's currently serving.
And officers as well? It's all in one resolution. Okay.
This is the,
Yep.
yeah. I have a question, Jim. Do you want to address any of the, like, people who are not attending many of the meetings at any point? Is this the time to do it?
Sure. Is that something we will discuss in executive session?
Okay.
So perhaps after we've,
At the end of the agenda? Okay,
good idea.
okay, moving on
Just
to,
on the slate.
Yeah.
Should we have secretary on it? We have treasurer, chair, vice chair.
yeah, I'm not, I've been assuming that it was left off for a reason, because I haven't seen it on several things. Which is Justin. Secretary, Justin, me.
Yeah, she's the secretary.
But then Justin is not, his position is not listed.
He's the chair of the loan
He's
committee.
the chair.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for the main, I have your.
So we
title
need
on
to-
it.
Yeah, but I didn't know if that was, if there was a reason for that because of,
I think what happened
Name
was
of it?
because we had a vacancy and it probably just didn't
Didn't
get
get
your name,
carried.
it didn't get put on
Yeah,
your name,
not a
and we
big
did,
deal.
redid the chart, just
Yeah.
then we took, the previous secretary off. On his resignation from the board.
yeah, that's what, I was
So
sure if
it's
it like
changed
goes in next
Just
year.
add it, just add it.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, this isn't our works, right? Right. Please, somebody.
Yeah,
Right, okay. Oh, thank you.
Motion to approve the slate.
Second.
all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? So carried. So then moving on to committee alternate. We've talked about this fairly recently. I think we've been having kind of a hard time filling. We have a few board member seats that are open, and then that kind of trickles down to the committee. So I think the last time we discussed it, Jim, we talked about you being an alternate for all of the committees. We talked about Gary
Mhm.
also.
Right.
Do we wanna bring the conversation up again and discuss alternates?
Not sure what the bylaws provide, or whether that's addressed in the bylaws. I think
The chair of the board is a member of all committees.
Right.
Pursuant to the bylaws. I don't believe, with the exception of the loan committee, that there's a provision to, appoint, non-board members to a committee, but that is a possibility with respect to the loan committee. I believe the other committees, it's at least 3, so you could have all members of the board on a committee if you were to so appoint them. So I think that, you wouldn't make them an alternate, you'd make them a additional member of the committee.
What does that do for the quorum?
Well, if you have, three on the committee, you need two. If you have five on the committee, you need three.
Because I think the quorum still seems to be an issue of like, if one person's out or two people are out, we're not making the quorum, then it's going to the full board for approval, but the committee is not able to.
And I
approve it.
guess, Lisa, when was the last committee we didn't have a quorum? I can't remember.
A long
Yours.
yesterday.
Cause I was out because my nephew was not. And so like, we need.
We had before, but I love
Yeah.
the one before that.
Yeah.
On,
And
What
it's
one are you
committees.
about?
It's not usually.
I'm on all,
Right, so
so
it wouldn't even,
that's in the bylaws.
Yeah.
Right.
no, but what ones do you go to in general?
Most of them,
Most of them, so that wouldn't even really
most if not all.
help to have an additional, because you're probably already there.
But, is the chair ex officio and therefore not able to be counted as, toward, okay. All right.
But let's monitor it, because I don't know that it, I mean, I can't, we were going to move this committee, except that then you were available, but, that's gonna happen if you have five. You're gonna, you know,
Yeah, it's just, it's time. to
it's
be
a,
there.
it's like, remember we had this, when we were on a seesaw, it's up and down, it's.
Well, that's an option is, I mean, we have the standing date and time of the meeting, but if the
Right.
quorum is an issue, we're wanting to address it, would we reschedule a meeting?
Yeah, I think the bigger issue is the quorum at the board meetings. There have been 2 or 3 times where Lisa and Jim or Lisa and I or Jim would have to, on the day before the board meeting or the Friday before the board meeting, make some reminder calls. And I think in each case, we were able to get a quorum. I think the interesting part was that, it wasn't top of mind, but once it was brought to top of mind, the member of the board was available and came. So it's just a little bit, we just need to, I think, anticipate that more. And, with a Tuesday board meeting, we need to kind of figure that out Friday, not Monday.
But we can also consider amending the bylaws to give someone, the chair or whoever, the authority to temporarily appoint a member of the board to serve on a particular committee.
Without becoming a part of a quorum.
Correct.
We actually have that in our standing committees.
Absolutely.
The board of directors may appoint independent members to serve as alternate members to any standing committee. Alternate members so appointed shall serve as voting members where there is an absence or where otherwise necessary to satisfy quorum.
Okay.
I mean, Gary offered it, I remember distinctly in his,
Because he said
yeah,
he
because he
didn't
said, he
fill-
was around, you
Yeah.
know.
It's probably better because then you keep it at 5, so you need
Mhm.
3.
Yeah.
You can bring in an alternate.
Yeah.
If you go to 6,
Yeah.
then you need.
Then we're struggling with that, yeah. Okay, so maybe we just need to invoke that.
And it is all been designated, I mean, it doesn't require approval of the board, does it, or just the,
So appointed by the board.
oh, it says, okay.
Yeah. So something
So Gary's on the one committee.
So we should approve that.
to be an alternate. Like I saw him this morning coming in, so if you needed him even like today, you
For
could have
that.
called him up.
Yeah, cause he's on the one committee. This is,
I don't know that the bylaw prohibits me from voting on committees, technically.
Ray says independent member, it doesn't have to be a director.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
I've-
wanna do that.
I've never,
Yeah.
I don't think you wanna do that, at this
I mean-
point,
yeah,
I mean, at this point,
it just introduces.
at this point in the,
Usually be
the
fine.
runway that's left,
Water,
yeah.
leave that for, you might. Might do that in the future if you, more confidence in how he's gonna vote or she's gonna vote. You don't wanna create.
We'll hold on. Okay, so, it leads us to, board candidates on the agenda, which if we had another 1 or 2 board members, especially people who are able to serve on committees, that would definitely help us. I have had some discussions with people, but I'm not sure that they're the right fit for a board candidate. I feel kind of strongly that they should present with a strong professional background to sit on the board. Would be great if there were people who had board or other committee experience, so they know how it works. I'm not sure if anyone here has met anyone or has any ideas for a candidate for board member.
I had a preliminary discussion with Mr. Yandick, what's his name down in Livingston? Will Yandick, very well qualified, but up to his ears in town board
Yeah,
and young kids and he didn't rule it out in the future and perhaps I should renew the expression of interest. I'll have coffee with him, see if he's in a place where he would have enough time to commit. So we'll explore that again.
I also ask my accountant, I ask him every couple of years. But he's like the accountant for Philmont and Chatham and all the different towns, so he feels like he should just, yeah. And we have that other guy, but maybe he's not qualified quite.
that's
Yeah,
the problem.
agreed.
If it doesn't show in the resume and there's no LinkedIn, it's just hard to kind of qualify. You know, a resume is a good starting point. Do we
You send them out.
have any people who we've, through the years, Martha, you've helped people and they've taken classes and they've got loans with us and they're running successful businesses here. I was wondering if maybe you had an idea.
In fact, we had a list of potential candidates that hasn't been updated for quite some time, and maybe we can find that and update it.
Revisit that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Jim, I'm happy to,
Copy
work with
this.
you to reach out to people, to,
Good.
yeah,
Let's see if we can
just touch base.
fill a couple of vacancies
Yeah.
to alleviate the quorum problem.
Yeah, even one, I think, honestly, it's just if we could get one, because we have a couple new board members and they're involved in.
I think we talked about manufacturing or
Yeah,
development
Right.
candidates. It's out of my,
We've talked about people who sign the front of a check, not the back of a check.
that's fair.
To quote
Business
a-
owners.
To
Yeah,
quote a
that's
former board member.
fair. Okay, so Lisa, do you have that list? That Martha's talking
Yeah,
about?
we're,
or
well,
no?
the three of us.
You'll-
we have a
you'll
list
get-
that we've
okay,
used
Mike
be-
will- Mike
we've
will
used
get it set.
before. We keep us that often.
All right, so let's put that on the agenda for the full board meeting later this month and see if we can come up with a few names.
And
Great.
you might consider sending an email to the individual members, asking them to be prepared to discuss.
Agreed.
Good.
Great. Well, we're light on the agenda today. We're at the other business on the agenda. Mike, do you
I
have?
would give an update on the search process. As you know, Martha and Jim are the two people who have access to the responses. This is the postings that we've done. We're in the process of getting the Times Union Business Review and Columbia Paper ads in. You may have seen the ads in the Register Star. We're doing electronic ads. We've done banner ads at the bottom of the front page. And we've done a couple of display ads. Riley is posting it to our Facebook and LinkedIn page. Riley's been working 1 day a week during her paid family leave time. She has been working remotely that one day, but she's starting back. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday in the office.
That's good.
It's on our website, of course. We've, posted it on, we're looking to post it on Monster as well, but, Planet is Ends, the New York State, Upstate American Planning Association, Idealist, the Economic Development Show, which is a national email I get every week with job postings. It's at the New York Department of Labor. We didn't put it on Gannon's list. That was a pretty good source in the past, but it seems not to be active.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But there's, when Kelly went on it, has been helping me with Riley being out. It doesn't look like, there's only one recent job posting. The International Economic Development Council, New York State Economic Development Council, they had it in their news this week. New York Rural Housing Coalition, not-for-profit from New York, the New York Association of Counties, the Columbia County Chamber, and the. We really didn't post it with the colleges, because we're not looking for a recent college graduate coming out of the Career Center. And, we might post it with UAlbany's Urban and Regional Planning Program. So, yeah, I don't know, we certainly have a national, statewide and local audience that we've been promoting the job description to. We have had a couple of calls that I indicated to people that, I'm not on the search committee and I'm intentionally not privy to who's applying.
We've got a handful of resumes submitted. Each of you.
Yeah.
On the.
Yeah, we reviewed it,
Alright.
yeah.
So, and we'll continue to, update you and send the additional resumes that come in and determine which ones, if any, are eligible for, or qualified to be interviewed.
Are we gonna wait until the search committee meets to determine who we're interviewing?
Not,
Well, that was
Or
my
we
question, what's the forum gonna be to discuss these?
Yeah,
What do you think?
my suggestion would be, for the committee, to respond by email as to who you think should be interviewed. And I think we can do that remotely. We can either by individual email, or we can have a Zoom call or something like that. If you think.
yeah, I think we
collaboration-
should have a Zoom call.
Some collaboration
Yeah.
would be,
It's good, because we can just go through and call them and.
And as you know, it's,
Pros and cons.
it's Jim, Rick, Tara, Rachel,
Brian Mahoney.
Martha, Ryan Mahoney,
Yeah.
and Jim Macker.
mhm. One of the questions would be, do you want to try to get some interviews in before Christmas?
The deadline for submission is the 15th, but it doesn't mean you could,
15th of
December.
December.
You could certainly, review resumes and determine whether or not a candidate is, not qualified at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And narrow the pool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So are you sending all of the resumes, sorry, like come in, or
What?
did someone go through them and decide which ones to
No,
send?
this,
Okay.
receive all of the ones that have been received
Okay,
and any additional ones that come in.
they're not
we'll
vetted
get
by any,
those.
okay.
No. And, the-
We have AI, we hired, no.
Yeah, me too.
My wife years ago asked, who's Al?
so, rather than having each of you send an email in to Martha and myself, do you want to schedule that Zoom and?
I think that would be
I think so.
good, I'd like to hear people, I know there was one of those that jumped out at me.
Me too.
Correct. I assume, looking at it from the same lens, it's probably.
I think one thing to be cautious about is I have been told by a few people that they were going to wait till the last minute, not because they're not interested, but they don't want the risk of their employer knowing.
Mhm.
And if it, if you're in that, the concern, several people have said this is too long a process. And it puts them at risk, with their current employer. So in their mind, they apply the 5th of December rather than the 5th of November. And I assured them that if even I wasn't gonna know who the applicants are, it was a pretty tight process. But I did have 2 people tell me that.
Okay. So let's see what this week brings with additional candidates. And then we can schedule a Zoom call.
Time next week,
Pardon me?
so you wanna do it next week? And then if anything, any applicants come in, we'll just review everyone up to that date. And then it sounds like they're gonna have to. do
Yeah,
it
it sounds like
in
we need
December.
like maybe a preliminary.
Yeah, I think so.
Zoom call, next week's fine, and then we're gonna have one on or about the deadline.
Yeah, December 10th, we'll do that.
But I don't think it precludes you from, starting interviews till the 15th, but it's up to you. But
It is a long period of time, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we wanna look at our calendars now?
But you could have a ranking for enthusiasm, so your first in gets 2 extra points.
Yeah.
Last in.
Early
minus 2 points.
Early acceptance gets right up.
I think there were people waiting in the wings because they knew I'm starting to socialize the idea with people.
So. What day next week works for everybody?
Wednesday, Thursday?
I could do Wednesday.
Tara, what time? You're thinking? Or early time like that?
I can do any time.
Early's better for me.
Yeah, early is the way.
Okay.
What's early? 9,
8:39.
8:30 on Thursday, is that the 20th?
Wednesday, the 19th.
I'm sorry, Wednesday the 19th.
All right.
Okay,
We'll send this out of.
we'll send a Zoom invitation
Right.
and do what we need to do.
Beautiful.
Good, thank you.
Great.
Oh, I think we got good press, the Register Star, the Times Union, the Business Review, the Columbia Papers doing kind of a feature article, I believe, on Thursday. So I think that not only helps the organization, but it also makes people aware of the whole thing.
Thank you, Mike, for sending press release.
Self-promotion at its finest, Mr. Chairman.
Appreciate you spreading the word for us pleased so far with the number of responses, and I'm sure there'll be more as we get closer to that.
That's all I have.
Any other
Sure.
business? No? Martha? Anything you wanna talk about?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Anyone else? No, the late meeting today, Andy? No? Okay, well, good.
So moved.
And,
Yeah.
and all, thank you.
Encourage.
I didn't know if we were going to-
Encourage our chairs to say without
Are we gonna do
objection, so
executive
ordered.
session, right? You said we were gonna go into it.
Yeah.
So we gotta go back. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
lay the adjournment on the table for a quick
Yeah,
executive.
okay, so I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
And a second.
So
Maybe offering some